players like him, and are you able to use him at 20 minutes or whatever he normally plays?
His first game, he exceeded expectations. And when I say that, just because you never know what you're going to get from a player coming back from an injury. He'd been out for weeks, and then to come in to play against Dallas, who's a good team, high-paced playoff game. He looked very comfortable, made a lot of nice plays, and looked a lot like we're accustomed to seeing Eki play, because he's a heck of a player, and you never know if he's going to be able to pick that up right away. It looked like he was able to pick that up right away. He played, I believe, 15, almost 16 minutes that night. Can he play some more minutes? Absolutely. Can he play 30? Probably not there yet, but over 20, yes.
When this started, he said he thought he was done. That was the original prognosis. As a team, did you feel that we're going to have to play this thing without him all the way?
Yeah, we thought that maybe there was a chance of getting into the finals late, but that was just wishful thinking if everything went well. So for him to join us in the third round, that was a bonus. We weren't expecting that.
Kris, with this group of six, with Matthias back, and having played Florida as well, do you feel better equipped, or how do you feel about that group going against the team that you know from last year?
As for the defense, you're talking about?
Just talking about the six defensemen.
We like our six defensemen. Adding the guys that we do have, even our depth guys. Last year we didn't have Stetcher available; he was dealing with an injury. Ty Emerson being available, obviously Klingberg and Wallman being the additions to our team. They've been playing fantastic for us. So as a group, we like our defense. Nothing against our defense last year. There's a little bit of a changeover, but the way these guys are playing right now and the personnel that we have of type of players, we like that.
Yeah, type of players. Do you think there's a trade or two that might be better suited to facing the Panthers this go around with your group, with your defensive group, the six of them?
I don't know. Can't say that. I don't know. Ask me after the series.
Kris, you're 2 days away from the Stanley Cup Final. Do you feel like there's a different vibe with this team, or kind of mood around the team in preparation for this final compared to last year?
We have a different mood. One, last year was new to us. We didn't know what the Stanley Cup Finals was going to be like. But also the way we went into this, Game 6 against Dallas, we didn't play our best game. We did win it, but it wasn't our strongest game. A little bit different. Game 5, we had the lead throughout. Felt good about that. But I think we just with probably the biggest change, the mood is just we've been here before. We've done the press conferences. We've answered the question about what it's like to be in the Stanley Cup Final. We know what to expect. We've seen this team before. There's a lot of familiar things about this. So I think it's just I don't want to say regular thing, but we're accustomed to it.
Kris, what's the biggest thing you learned last year as a coach going through this?
Just how much ups and downs there can be, and the adjustments that you have to make throughout the playoffs, and because you're playing a very competitive 7-game series, that there's a lot of changes that need to be made, whether it's getting somebody in fresh, changing your lines, but probably most importantly, just being able to reset after a game, no matter how that game went, whether it was a 6-0 win or if a 8-0 loss, whatever it is, or an overtime loss. I think we've done a good job of just putting that behind us. We've had some heartbreaking losses this playoffs. And, maybe in the past, it might have got to our guys. I think we handled those very well. You look at our games, one against L.A. and I believe it was Game 3 against Vegas. Those can be crushing losses, but I think our guys have done a heck of a job being able to put it aside, getting ready for the next day. And, as you play more playoff games, more experience you have, and we've got a lot of guys who've had that experience, it's you're more equipped for the playoffs.
Do you think you guys are healthy? I know you obviously don't have Zach Holmes. Do you think you're healthier going to this final than last final, just in terms of Zach Holmes healthy now, Vander Kane's healthy now, in terms of your own group?
Absolutely. I think not only just with the injuries, but just being the health-wise, we've been able to have fewer games. We've had long breaks between two series. Last year, we never had that. It was a lot of 7-game series against Vancouver was tough. Dallas next felt like it took a much bigger toll on us. Right now, are we 100% healthy? No, not quite. Obviously, with Hyman being out, which will be a huge loss, we're going to need guys stepping up for that. But overall, I would say we're in a little bit better position physically.
Kris, you'll like any matchup with your top two centers. Florida's third line really was a difference maker for them in all 3 series. You look at the Janmark line, you've put them together, you really like them, especially defensively. Is that a matchup you'll be looking to get on home ice?
I think, I think they've got 3 really good lines that can score, and the fourth line is, they've scored some important goals for them. They play with a lot of physicality, so it's not that, they're a very good, deep team. What we want for line matchups, I think we're at our best when we're able to roll our lines. And obviously, Connor's getting about 20 minutes, Leon's getting about 20 minutes, but getting everyone involved. And if you're going to get everybody involved with Connor and Leon playing those minutes, you can't be searching for matchups because it just takes away the flow. It ices guys. So I think we're a very strong, deep team where no matter what line is playing against the other team's top line, second line, whatever it is, I think we're equipped that we can have all 4 of our lines play against whoever.
Kris, why no practice today? And if you're having a full one tomorrow, will McDavid be fully attended?
Yeah, no, Connor will be out there. We are going to have a full practice. We just felt that if we practice again today, it would have been 4 days straight of being on the ice in that game, and we don't think at this point of the season that we need to be on the ice every single day working on skills. I think it was good we had a good practice yesterday, a lot of work, little system things, but mostly just skating. Tomorrow will be a regular practice, so we're prepared. We feel that sets us up best for game 1.
And you like Brown in your game 1 lineup on Wednesday?
I do. I think he adds a lot of elements to our team. Obviously, on the penalty kill, we need him a lot. His speed, his checking. He's provided some nice offense throughout the season. But yes, he'll be part of our game 1 lineup.
Kris, as a coach, is there a psychological aspect involved in a team that comes so close 1 year before and getting back to the spot now?
I think the toll it takes throughout the regular season. Just getting prepared to play the playoffs. I think that's what was on everybody's mind. I don't necessarily know if how close we were. Has an effect on does this help us now or hurt us? I don't think there's any answer to that. I don't think it has any bearing if we would have lost 4 straight or 7 games as close as it came down to last year. I think we just need to. I think it was good for us, to play all those rounds. More experience you have, the better it is, just because there's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be stressful moments during this playoff series. I think it'll help us in the long run.
Kris, Florida's a very aggressive team. You didn't have Kane really at full strength. How much different will that be? Because he's an intimidating player to play against the physical.
I think
He likes that sort of stuff.
he does like that stuff. I think we're better equipped this year. We've got more of, especially up front, a lot more physical players. Evander Kane, we didn't have him last year for the series. We had him for 2 games, not being healthy. Do I think he can make a difference? Absolutely. Physicality, scoring, making those plays. We missed him last year, and I think he'll be a big part of this series now. But also, guys, Trent Frederick is a guy that we wanted for throughout the playoffs. Here's a guy that can play with a very similar game, not quite as much edge as Evander, not as quite as much offense, but a pretty darn good hockey player who can play that physical game. So, addition of those 2 guys, some other guys also, but, I think to answer your question, yes, Evander Kane will be a nice addition.
So Kane always seems like he plays the game within the game because he's an intimidating player. He kind of likes that sort of stuff.
Yeah, no,
You see, a lot of guys just play their way into the game.
Yeah, I think when guys are on at their best, there's a certain element to them. Whether they're talking in between whistles, some guys are quiet and just focused, and any extracurricular activities distracts them from playing. Other guys thrive on that. I think part of Corey Perry, Evander Kane, part of them that gets them involved in the game is all those aspects. Not only does it get them involved in the play, but maybe it distracts somebody else. But I think Evander's a good player, and hopefully he can provide a little more or something that we didn't have last year.